Okay, so now let's look at how to calculate the slope of a line, or the slope between 2 points of a line, but using the algebraic expression. Here we have m equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 equals x sub 1. This equals delta y over delta x, with delta meaning change in. So this says the change in y over the change in x. So let's begin, and we're going to start by denoting this to be x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. It's not necessary to do this step, but oftentimes it can help guide you. So we're going to say y sub 2 minus y sub 1. So m equals negative 3 minus 1, and then 5 minus negative 3, x sub 2 minus x sub 1. And now we can use same change, negative 3 plus negative 1, 5 plus 3. This is negative 4 over 8, gives us a slope of negative 1/2. If we had chosen to do it with this being x sub 2, y sub 2, and this being x sub 1, y sub 1, we would have gotten the same answer, and I'll show you, as long as we are consistent. And so we have x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So we say 1 minus negative 3, and then x sub 2 minus x sub 1, negative 3 minus 5. It gets messy when you do it this way, so I'm only going to do it for this one. So 1 minus negative 3 gives you 4, 1 plus 3. And then negative 3 minus 5 is the same as saying negative 3 plus negative 5. And again, you get the exact same answer. So pretty easy there. Now let's look at this example here. We have 2, negative 3, and the corner point of negative 4, negative 3. So here's our equation. I'm going to make this one be my x sub 2, y sub 2. And the reason is I just like to subtract when I get a positive, sometimes if I can. So x sub 2, y sub 2, and x sub 1, y sub 1. It really doesn't matter. So here, when we're going to write this out, m equals, so negative 3 minus negative 3, right, because y sub 2 minus y sub 1, and now 2 minus negative 4. Okay, so x sub 2 minus x sub 1. And this just comes from experience of just knowing that I'm going to, if I say a positive minus a negative, I'm going to get a positive. Well, here, negative 3 minus negative 3, that is 0. But in case you're having trouble seeing that, you can use same change. And you get negative 3 plus 3. And then 2 minus negative 4 is 6. Well, anytime you have 0 in the numerator and you're dividing by a non-zero number, your answer is 0. So this is a horizontal line. This is our horizontal line. And the equation of this line is actually y equals negative 3. Okay. Now let's look at one more example. And now we have the coordinate points 1/4 and negative 3 and 1/2 negative 1.5. I have a fraction right here for these. I know that I can make this fraction 1/2 equals 2/4. Remember, when you have your common, you have to have a common denominator when you're subtracting fractions. So I'm going to keep that in mind. I'm going to just write here, keeping this in mind, I'm going to make this my x sub 2. So this is going to be my, my x sub 2. So it's going to be x sub 1, y sub 1. And then this is going to be x sub 2, y sub 2. Alright, so looking at this, we're going to say negative 1.5 minus negative 3. Alright, so m equals negative 1.5 minus negative 3. And then 1/2 minus 1/4. So I know that that is 2/4. Okay, so 2/4 minus 1/4. Negative 1.5 minus negative 3. Well, that's going to give us, using same change, that's going to give us 1.5. And this is going to give us 1/2. If you have a calculator, you could say 1.5 divided by 0.5. This is equal to 1.5 times 2. Remember, because when you're dividing fractions, this is your inverse right here. So 1.5 times 2, your slope for this line is 3. So this is not that complicated. Yes, it has a decimal and it does have fractions, but these fractions are very easy to convert into common denominators. And if you had done it the other way, you would have gotten negative 1.5 over negative 1/2, and you still would have gotten the same answer because negative divided by negative is positive. So that's it with finding it algebraically. As always, if you have any questions, let me know. Good luck.